All right, I am back. Welcome to the Iulia Tudor show, and today we're going to be going over how to triple your traffic to your offer. What I want to do, I just want to make sure that all my links are being set up. So I'm just to make sure everybody that is going to my iuliatudor.com/traffic tripler. So get to add access to this link. So just give me a quick second. You guys are so awesome for being so patient with me. Okay. I just love technology. But the cool thing is that you have to start. You can't just wait. You're not going to be perfect right off the bat. But if you can't start, you're never going to be great, right? So, but I'm really excited. It goes to show that anyone can do this. You don't have to be super techy. You just need a little practice, right? Okay. So what I'm doing right now is I just want to make sure that those go to my Traffic Tripler website to be able to see you live. You just press it right now. Thank you for learning with those. Awesome. So I'm not going to play that in the background. It's just going to drive me crazy. But I will come back to you. So what's going on, guys? Super excited to have you here. So what my plan is I'm going to be doing a series of live broadcasts. I'm going to see how Sunday is doing so far. And if I'm getting lots of viewers, if I'm getting lots of comments and interaction, then I'm going to give you something back. So today we're going to be talking about traffic. What the hell is traffic? We hear this word over and over again. Picture it like this. Say you have a restaurant. You may have the most delicious food in the world. But if you don't have, if your restaurant's in the middle of a desert and there's nobody that goes there, nobody knows it exists. So you kind of need some traffic. You kind of need some people to walk by and see what you have. So the more, it's a numbers game. The more traffic that you have, the more people you might have interested, the more leads you might have, the more qualified buyers you may have, right? It's all about knowing how to attract and pull in the right traffic. So I'm really excited to share this with you. What I'm going to be doing is I'm just going to be diving into my slides. But generally, what you can expect in the next couple of weeks is that we're going to be talking about target market, knowing who your client is, what their problems are, and how you could be that solution for them. Okay, and then we're going to be talking about traffic, which is today. I'm kind of going to be combining both of those together. How to get leads, how to capture leads, how to interest them into your offer, how to have that carrot dangling above to intrigue them to come to see what you have, right? So that's all very important. And after that, once you've gotten those leads, well, how do you actually close them? How do you actually get them to buy what you have? How do you actually get them to try what you have, right? So there's a lot of cool strategies that you could do to entice your clients. And after that, once they've actually tried you, you need to know how to upsell, right? Because it's not like you're going to be selling $5 products all the time, right? You want them to actually try bigger packages because let's be honest, if you really believe in what you have to offer, you would be doing them a disservice if you weren't offering your absolute best. Now, your absolute best obviously has a value attached to it. And if your client really wants to get the results, like for example, if you have like a personal training session, okay, you can try a session, but are you really going to have those rock hard abs after one session? No, you're doing a disservice to your client. For your client to really get to the goals that you want, they need to try the whole thing. So how do you get them from point A, from stepping into that gym? How do you even get them to step into that gym in the first place? How do you even get them to look at your restaurant, look at your offer, look at your business, whatever it is the case may be? How do you get them to get to the end goal, right? And I think one thing that's really important is that it's not about the features. It's not about, well, my program has X, Y, Z. People don't care about that, okay? People want to make sure that you are someone of authority that can take them from their goal to a reality. And how do you prove that? If they've never met you, how do you show them that you are someone that they can trust? How do you show them that you are someone that has the expertise and knowledge and that you care to get them to the goal that they want, right? And that's what I love, social media, because this is a perfect place for people that have never met you before to do a little research on you. In fact, even employers look at your social media, they Google you, they want to see what you're all about before they put you to work in their organization, right? So this is all very important. So number one, I'm going over this webinar with you about, you know, how to attract traffic. Remember that it's about knowing your client's pain. Know your client very well, understand their needs, understand what their struggles are, and you being that solution, get them emotionally connected to that pain, as well as emotionally connected to that pleasure, because we as humans, we're motivated by pleasure. We want to feel good, right? So the whole purpose is when you're doing marketing, you want to know their problem, their pain, their struggle, and you also want to know their desired results, and they want to see you as that bridge in between, okay? So now that I had my little intro, so for those of you guys who's just tuning in, I see another viewer here. Welcome to Iulia, to their show. Today we're going to be talking about traffic, how to entice your audience, how to get them to stick around, right? So I'm going to be just sharing my screen here with you. Before I do that, let me make sure everything is ready. One moment. Okay. View. Just a second. Thank you for being so patient. All right. Okay. Slideshow. I did it. From the beginning. It's fine. Okay. Good, good. It's all working. Okay, so now I'm ready to share my screen with you. Cool. All right, you ready? Let's do this. I'm going to share my entire screen with you. I'm about to zoom in into my secret sauce, my chocolate Trippler formula. All right, so there are 5 main problems that we have in online marketing that can make or break your business. I know that sounds cheesy, but it's true, okay? If you meet someone and your interaction is, you know, not right, you can really turn them off. So what are the main issues that we're having? So basically, you can't market to everybody, right? If you market to everybody, you're marketing to nobody, right? That's why having a target market, what does that even mean? I'll go into that. That's absolutely crucial, right? If you are a personal trainer, for example, and maybe you're just, you don't really care to go for people that are overweight. You want to go for the people that are already fit, that are looking to train at a pro level, right? So that target market has got completely different issues than someone that's just obese or overweight, right? So knowing what kind of client you have, knowing your problems, that really makes a big difference, because your marketing is just going to be that much more effective, okay? Then number 2, we are going to go dive into traffic. Well, how do you actually bring these people in? How do you get them to look at your offer? What are the 3 main types of traffic, which I will go into that. And how to convert that traffic into actual leads. A lead is someone that has seen what you have and they're interested, but they haven't quite bought yet, right? So even people that subscribe to you, to your offer, to your newsletter, right? Or people that have tried some samples, these are leads, right? Because they're interesting. You're interested in what you have. And then closing and upselling. Well, duh. The whole point of having people look at what you have is to actually get them to try what you have, right? So that's kind of a strategy a lot of people struggle with. You know, you get people to look at what you have, but how do you actually get them to try it? And then not only that, how do you duplicate this whole process? And that's exactly what I'm going to show you how to master, right? Okay, so what we're going to be going over today is how to discover your target market, right? What is their pain and how you can be the solution. Because people don't care about the features and benefits of your program or your offer. People, all they really care about is to know that you care. Is to know that you can get them to solve their problem, right? That's the whole point. And what are the three main types of traffic? And how do you interact with these types of traffic, right? It's kind of like if you're trying to make a friend and you just meet someone, let's say like at a bar, and you are all of a sudden tell them everything super personal about you. That's a little awkward, right? So that at every stage of a relationship or when you're interacting with someone, there's proper etiquette, right? So even in online marketing, there's proper etiquette for how you can interact with people, right? And once you've interacted with them, where do you send them? So if you've just made a new friend, for example, right? You're not going to say, hey, do you want to like go to Mexico with me tomorrow? No, you're like, hey, do you want to go to the social gathering? You got to warm them up. It's the same thing, just like the lead that you're having, you got to warm them up so that they can take baby steps into entering your world, entering what you have to offer, entering your value, right? So that's what I mean by like there's certain steps that are really crucial. There's certain psychology behind what I'm going to go over that could really help your interaction with your traffic and to build that trust and rapport. So target market. Well, let me just ask you this, like what is the absolute fastest way for you to get leads? Okay, let's say if you have a restaurant, maybe you have a herbal product to offer, or maybe you're a speaker, right? A personal development, a coach, like let's say Miss Tony Robbins here, or maybe you're a real estate agent, right? Regardless, what do all these things have in common? Is they need leads. They need people to see their offer, right? How do you get people interested in that? Well, the reality is, though, is that we're living in an ever-growing global international market. And if you limit yourself just locally, right, you're really limiting your growth at the end of the day. So long story short, what's the answer? Online. The fastest way to get more leads is online. Okay, regardless of what you are doing and what you're promoting, if you are not tapping into the online marketing industry, you are missing out because having an ad, having some sort of value attached to your offer, that is basically buying online real estate, and it's going to stay there forever. And there's more and more people that are joining the internet, and if your strategy is right, people will find you. And it's like basically putting up a flyer that will never get taken down. So this is why this is so crucial for your growth. Okay, so target market. Now, you might have heard of the term that when you market to everybody, you market to nobody, okay? In sales, that's different. In sales, it's like you play the numbers game. The more no's you get, the closer you are to the yes, and just go objection after objection. In marketing, it doesn't work like that, okay? You need to know exactly who you're talking to. You need to speak to the audience. You need to know their pain. And you need to be that bridge between the pain and the solution. And the thing is that when you give free value, like even a webinar like this, when you give free value to your audience, they start to trust you and they start to thank you for helping them with their problems. And that's when the law of reciprocity comes in. Is like, haven't you had a time where someone gives you a sample, or someone gives you a piece of advice, and you just felt like it helped you so much that you wanted to do something back for them? So that's the psychology between providing solutions to people's problems so they can reciprocate you and actually try what you have to offer, right? But you can't do this unless you're niche specific. Okay, remember that personal trainer example I gave you, right? So if your client is someone that's obese, or if your client is someone that's already fit but looking to go to a pro level, these clients have completely different needs. They're different niches. So the more you can describe your client in perfect detail, the more focused your niche is, the more revenue you're going to generate. Okay? So I actually encourage taking a pen and paper and describing the character, the likes and dislikes of your ideal client, what's their budget, what's their lifestyle. Really get to know your client intimately. And there's also kind of like a quantum psychology, quantum physics behind that, because when you physically write down exactly what you're looking for, then your brain is pre-wired to look for what already exists out there in the environment, right? So just doing that strategy alone is very powerful. So I highly recommend you do that. All right. So what does this strategy look like when you're actually writing it down? So this, I've literally done this. I've taken down a piece of paper and I've written down, who is my audience? What is their problem? And what solutions do I provide, right? So for instance, for me, I'm looking for people that are looking to be either brands of themselves or of a company that they're representing, be it a service or a product that just, you know, maybe they're good in the face-to-face interaction, but they have no idea what they're doing online, right? Or vice versa. And I want to be seen as that bridge, to bridge that gap between those worlds. And how you can leverage your skills in the offline world to the online world so you can buy back more time, right? So I provide specific solutions on how to leverage online marketing and social media strategies for you to increase your revenue and increase the depth of your audience, right? So I know their pain and I know their desires, and I'm the bridge in between that, okay? And it's good to know that I thought this part was really interesting because it's really good to know what are their fears, thoughts, and fantasies, because human beings are motivated by pain and pleasure, right? We're motivated to rather avoid pain and seek pleasure. So once we know these deterring factors and their motivating factors, that gives us data for shaping our marketing campaign, right? And also putting yourself in the prospect's shoes. So asking yourself, well, okay, think about it this way. You want to buy, I don't know, a pair of shoes, okay? And where do you look online? Like what websites do you go to? Or, you know, and there's really cool ways of finding your audience or having your audience how to find you, which is what I'm going to go into. There's things like banner ads, social media, Facebook's one of my favorite, but you need to put yourself literally in their shoes and view the world through their eyes and see, well, you know, if I was looking for something, where would I look? You're looking for food, you go to a grocery store, you go to a market, you go to a restaurant, right? So when you want to put your product in these places, right? So again, put yourself in their shoes and think of the world through their perspective. The more you can connect emotionally to your audience, the more you'll have a bigger result. And not only that, you also want to ask, well, how do I want to be perceived, right? What do I want them to know about me? I want my audience to see me as their solution to online marketing. I want my audience to see me as a solution to their weight loss, to see me as a solution maybe to their relationship problems if you're a coach, right? You want to set yourself up as an authority in a specific niche. What is it that I stand for, right? What do I honor? That's powerful, right? Let me go back here. So, like, what do you stand for? What are your morals, right? Are you someone that puts people before profits, right? Do you over-deliver in value? Do you give your absolute best value to your audience, right? What fires me up? Maybe it's my client success. Maybe it's seeing people create transformations in their life. Maybe it's seeing people live the life they truly want to live and deserve, right? And people want to, this is the kind of vibe you want to give off to people, because at the end of the day, people connect with energy, right? So not only do you have to see the world from their perspective, you want to know how you want to be perceived, right? And once you figured all that out, You want to know who you want to work with and who you don't want to work with. You need to pre-qualify people before they get to you, right? Because that's really important. You, like I said, this goes back to the concept of you market to everybody, you market to nobody, okay? So it's pretty straightforward. So now that we've gone over target and market, you know, this is just kind of like going over what we just talked about. So what's my offer? Who's my offer for? What problem am I solving? And what relationship stage are you with your audience? Because your relationship status will guide how you interact with your audience. So this is just transitioning into the next topic, which is traffic. And now that you know who you want to attract, what kind of traffic you want, now we can dive into this. But I hope I've really dug into the importance of that. You need to take that time aside to figure out who your target market is, what problems do they have, and what solutions are you offering. Okay? Now we're off to traffic. Okay. So this is a really cool example of what traffic looks like. I think here's the main problem. Too many people start in these social media platforms. Like I see so many, I don't know why the first example comes to mind, fitness trainers or life coaches or whatever. You know, they'll start with their social media, like, oh, I'm going to get a YouTube channel and I'm going to, you know, put up all my videos of me doing yoga and all these cool recipes. But how the hell do they buy from you? How do they like interact with you? Oh, here's my email. I mean, we're living in the 21st century. You gotta be a little more smarter than that. And I'm sorry if I'm stepping on anyone's toes, but the reality is that all you're dabbling in is in social media and you have no place to actually send them to where they can actually buy or try whatever it is that you have to offer. You're losing control of your audience. You have no idea where they're coming from. You have no idea where they're clicking. You can't test to see, oh, this worked versus this didn't. You need a place where you can actually control the interaction, right? So the way I look at social media is like a web where you can catch your flies. That sounds pretty ridiculous, but where you can catch your audience, capture your audience, get them to know who you are, what you have to offer, build that trust and send them to your website, right? Now, the difference between a blog and a website, I mean, they really are the same thing. I just look at it as a blog as a place where you can provide value and you can connect your social media to, so you can direct them to your website that maybe has ads to trying something that you have to offer, right? So, and your website is a way, it's also a place for you to capture those subscribers. Because when people subscribe to your YouTube, it's not like you know their email. Like, how do you directly talk to them? Like, you just have to make a video, right? But when people actually subscribe to your website and you have an email list that you can talk to, and you can even work for it vice versa. Like, let's say you posted something on Facebook, right? But like the thing is that everything that you post doesn't always get seen on the newsfeed. But if they're subscribed to your blog, to your website, or in your email list, you can let them know, hey, check out this post I put on my social media. So you can put them back and forth between your social media and your website. So guys, I cannot stress enough. If you're starting a business and you don't have a website, you don't have a blog where you can control the content and the interaction of your people, and you're only dabbling in social media, you are losing. You're missing out. So I think where you should start, it's good to start here while you're building this, but you need to send them to a place where they can actually buy. That's the whole point, right? So you want to get paid for what you're doing. So I just hope I really ingrained that into your brain, that the whole point of social media is to be a web to attract them and send people to a place for them to actually try you. Makes sense, right? All right. So what are the types of traffic and where do they come from? Okay. So let's talk about cold traffic. Picture this. So remember that scenario I talked about where you meet a new friend and you walk into, let's say, a bar and you just meet them. Okay. You know, you got to know how to interact with them. You can't be like, well, here's my whole life story. and I'm going through this and this and that, you're gonna freak you out. Okay, so cold traffic, or people that don't even know who you are, right? And how do they get to know you? Well, you have to. They usually come from a place where you have a chance to introduce your brand, introduce who you are, and give them value, right? Which, like, mainly I've been doing a lot of Facebook. It's kind of my main go-to marketing, especially for my cold market, because I can provide a lot of value there, right? I can put videos, I can put blog posts, I can put motivational quotes, pictures from my Instagram. I can, connect a lot of my other social media together. But the whole point of this is to give a lot of free value so people can actually trust me, so people can actually build that rapport with me and view me as an authority. So if nobody knows who I am, but if they just scroll through my Facebook page, right, then they can see that I actually, am solving the problems, I'm giving them solutions, right? And then I'm starting to warm them up. So once they discover me on my Facebook, be it an ad or a solo ad, these are people that have no referrals and just stumbled upon me, right? A banner ad, by the way, is like an ad that you can put on a website. You can put an ad for what you have to offer to another website, or even on your own website, because on your own website you get to actually control the content that you're producing, right? I saw this really cool video with Gary Vaynerchuk where he's like, okay, well, let's say you have a type of beverage to offer. Where would you want to put your ad? Or obviously it's some sort of alcoholic beverage website, or maybe a bar website or a club zone kind of a website. People that are interested in drinking, right? You want to put that banner ad in another website. But the thing is, you can't always control the content that they create. What if they decide to change their content? But at least on your own website, you can control what you put up. So people that are interested in reading what you have to write, or watching the videos you have to say, then you'll put an ad that's related to that, right? So that's one way. But these are people that are cold. They're cold. They don't know you. You gotta warm them up by giving them free value. And once you've built that trust and rapport, then they've warmed up to you, right? And that's when they're like, well, you know what? I really loved this video, and it's really helped my problems in attracting target market, or what a target market is. I would love to know more because it's so useful. So that's when people are actually willing to subscribe to you, right? They're willing to put those names into an email list so they can have a constant interaction with them. So long story short, what a warm lead is, they're familiar with business, but they're not interested enough. They still need some convincing. So it's a place for you to provide even more value, right? And this is the crucial place where you can convert them from a lead to a buyer. And when they're hot, what that means is they've tried you, they like you, and they want more of you, okay? They've already interacted for you. So at this stage, what you need to know is how to upsell. Okay, you tried my $1 trial, fantastic, and you've given over-delivered. It was a huge bargain. So whatever you do, you want to make sure that, like, okay, here's a sample, but what you got for what you paid was so much more that, again, that law of reciprocity kicks in, and they're willing to, buy more because they're seeing the value in the results that they're seeing, even if it's a tiny bit of result, right? So now that you know the types of traffic we have, you need to know, well, how do you interact with them, right? You need to know, how do you talk to these people? How do you, right? Like, if you go from someone like, hey, nice to meet you, can you please buy my $5,000 product? What? Who are you? Why should I buy from you? Like, I don't even know your name. I don't even know why I should trust you. You can't go from, like, here straight to here, right? So that's why the way you interact with people, I mean, it's common sense. You wouldn't do that in a normal social situation. And if you do, then you probably don't have friends or something. But, people are kind of like, when they go online, they forget the fact that you're dealing with real human beings. And it's important how you interact with them, okay? So, like I said, when they first meet you, this is the place for you to introduce yourself. Hi, my name is Iulia Tudor from Tudor.com. Here you can find tips on personal development, consciousness manifestation techniques, and online marketing strategies to take your business to the next level. Okay? Your 5-minute elevator pitch, and you have that. And what do you do at this stage? You need to track their user behaviors, see what they're interested in, see what they're clicking, right? You need to see what their behavior is, and then it gives you feedback. Right? Okay, they really like this, they didn't really like this, right? And actually, I'm going to show you a real live example of how you can actually track what people are clicking, what are they liking, because that gives you feedback. And how to, do split testing. Split testing is like, it's kind of doing like an experiment. I look at online marketing as a social experiment, right? And you get to see, well, when I throw this variable in, people are liking, loving, buying. Okay, cool. When I throw this variable in, I get no likes. All right, readjust, right? So maybe I could show you a quick example of that. Let me show you. Okay. Oh my God, I have so many, windows open. So this is basically my website platform. It's called Kalatu. You could see from the beginning of this webinar, I am not a techie person. So for me to have all these plugins readily available to me is huge, because I don't have to learn how to install all this stuff. Okay, like I use this to create links. And you also get to see what links are working. How's my marketing doing? How's my cold traffic interacting with me? Okay, so here's a cool example. I did an audition to be on a TV show, and my marketing for that was really cool because I had 699 clicks and 485 that was unique. So we had some re-clicks there, right? So that goes to show that marketing was productive. It actually got results. I've been doing some underground Instagram strategies. That's been working phenomenal. I mean, look at that. That's 2,410 clicks, right? So that gives me massive feedback that my Instagram strategy, which I will be doing a webinar on, and you're giving me exclusive access and how I'm able to generate these kind of numbers. Because what this means to me, it's not just numbers. This means traffic. These means leads. These are people that clicked and may have even subscribed. And people that have subscribed, what that means is I can directly communicate to them my offer, right? So having a website, as you can see, is absolutely crucial because you can actually track their behavior. You can have some control over your content and your marketing, right? So that's that. Let's go back to this. Oh my gosh, I'm all over here. Where was I? Okay, so that's how I interact with my cold traffic. Now let's talk about warm leads. So when we're talking about warm leads, these are people that have maybe subscribed to your email list, or maybe they've tried your something. So it's so crucial because people don't know who you are. And to come up front and be like, hey, buy my $5,000 project or product, it's a little intimidating. And you're going to scare them off. They're probably going to click unsubscribe. Okay? So you want to start warming them up even more by giving them some low dollar sales. Hey, you got a lot of value from this webinar. I hope it's helped you and you can apply directly to your business and take some immediate action. But if you want to use the system that I'm currently using, go ahead and click below the $2 trial, where you can actually use what I'm using and just make you progress faster, not having to learn how to, track your links and do your, email marketing campaigns and all that. I have a system that's already done for you, but tell you what, normally it's worth this, example, $97 a month, okay? But I'm going to let you try it for $2. Okay, do you see that? Do you see what I just said there? People that are watching this right now are maybe cold or warm market, or maybe even hot market. People that have already bought stuff from me and they love what I have to offer and they're here to learn some more. But do you see that how I transition from massive value to, hey, here's a trial. I know we don't have that trust yet, but I am willing to lose money to give you something that's worth so much more for just $2 so that you could really be convinced, right? So that is another way of how you can interact. And what I want to show you is a way that I communicate with my audience is through email marketing, but I don't sit behind a computer and, oh, someone in London subscribed to me at like 3 a.m. in the morning. Let me just quickly write them an email. No, I have a life, okay? So I'm not going to be doing that. I actually use this program called Aweber, which helps me communicate with my audience instantly, simultaneously at the same time, and I can even program the time that I want my message to go out with to them. So I'm just going to dive into my back office here for you guys. Okay, so here is I can send emails, right? This is, if you were on my list, you might have just gotten this, right? And it's showing me I can communicate what I'm doing, like, hey, I'm hosting a webinar, or hey, I'm going to this event, or hey, I just posted something on my Facebook that was a tremendous value, right? So I just, for instance, launched Prosperity Profits Mastermind group, where I give exclusive access to personal development, consciousness manifestation techniques, and online marketing strategies. So people like stuff that have just launched, that's new, that's free, that's, you know, so like this tells me, okay, this is working, this is feedback, this is making people open, this is making people click, right? And maybe I should just give you a quick preview of what that really is. Profits Mastery. Okay, so this is a personal or a closed group specifically for people that are willing to take their game to the next level. This is a mastermind group, and those who join, I give them a free gift. This book has been transformational. Last one is given about using the power of manifestation and consciousness to actually change physical matter and see the results that you want. So what is this? Why would I want to give a free gift? This, my friend, is called a lead magnet. You want to over deliver in value, right? So do you see again how this is all coming together, that this is my social media web. I'm connecting them to my email list and essentially connecting them to my website where they can actually maybe buy something and try something, right? I have banner ads here if they like the content. They want to try what I have to offer. You see that? That's something that you can do for you as well. Pretty cool, huh? So that's how I interact with my warm market. Okay. I don't know why it's not starting to my cards live. Anyways, you get the idea. Now, people that have actually bought, that's what I like to call my hot leads. You tried my trial. You had tremendous value. You actually saw the results. And you know that if you were to invest more, you're going to get more. Because at the end of the day, if you want results, you have to invest in your education. I don't know if you guys went to post-secondary, university, or college, right? But didn't you have to put down some money to learn what you have to do before you become a doctor or a lawyer? I mean, people's lives are in your hands. You kind of have to invest in your education so you can be seen as a leader, right? The only thing is that with university, you don't get a low dollar trial sale, okay? You just go straight into, okay, well, here's you know, a couple grand that you have to invest if you want to become this, right? So this is no different. If you're trying to learn how to become an authority online, you do have to invest in your education, right? So that's what I call a hot lead. You tried the trial, you like what I have to offer, now you're actually going to upsell. And how do you actually upsell? Well, you have to stick around for the next show, okay? And this is also a place to give them reminders that, hey, you tried this, or you've been on my webinar, you've seen this post, this video, you might want to check this out. You want to keep them connected, you want to keep them engaged, especially those who've already bought from you, right? So that's how you interact with these types of traffic. Don't go to your cold market and give like, buy my $5,000 college and come to me to Mexico, come with me to Mexico. It's a little weird. Don't do that. All right. So now that you know who your audience is, you know how to interact with them, where do you send them? Okay. So we did kind of go over this, but basically your cold market, you don't want to send them, like I said, directly to, hey, buy this. No, they're going to be like so turned off by you. It's like if you meet a girl and on the very first day you're like, okay, please marry me. That's a little weird. Don't be weird. Be normal. Okay. So it's a place to introduce yourself. Where do you get to introduce yourself? Well, a blog is a great place to do that, right? Because you get to provide written posts, videos, you get to interact with you, to check your lifestyle, where you're traveling to, what kind of events you're going to. Social media is freaking great. I love using Facebook and YouTube and Instagram because that's a place where you provide massive value, over-deliver, build that trust and that relationship and that rapport with them, right? That's a good place for cold market to find you, okay? But how do you even get them to go here, you know? Well, and we will go over into this when we talk about lead generation, but you want to have what I call a lead magnet. So, in fact, for those of you that even came here, you're my traffic, for staying to the very end of this webinar, I'm going to give you a gift. Lovers, why do they do that, right? Is because you want people to warm up to you. Because what if what you have to offer is really life transforming, right? Wouldn't it be selfish to not like serve that to the people that could really use your help, right? But if you don't have the strategies, you don't know how to interact with those people that want you, they'll never benefit from the gifts that you have to offer this planet, right? So you have to warm them up, okay? And once they've tried you, now they love you. You've changed their life. You've created some sort of transformation, whether you made them lose weight, whether they improve their relationships, whether they changed their financial situation forever, right? Or even a little bit, right? They're like, wow, I had so much tremendous value from this. I'm willing to invest more because I know if you're willing to give me so much value for this, can you imagine what kind of value we'll get for this, right? So again, it's about being a servant. It's about being a leader and solving people's pains. And if you can do that, your life will transform forever. Okay? So, in order for you to do this, you need a toolkit, right? Like in order for you to be a doctor, you kind of need some tools. You kind of need some education, right? So why do you need a website? Well, come on, I don't think I've ingrained that in you. And I think I've ingrained that in you pretty well, is that you need a place where people can actually buy from you, they can try you, a place where you can give value. So your website is basically a permanent flyer that nobody can take down as long as you have something that doesn't get easily hacked, right? And that's what I'm using. And it's great because I can actually take control of my audience. So having a toolkit is important. Like when you go to school, you need your textbooks. You need a teacher. You need to do your homework, right? You need to know that stuff so that you can become seen as an expert in what you're doing, right? So that's basically what I'm using. And in fact, those of you that are watching this live right now, down below, I am going to be giving you a $2 trial where you get to have access to all these tools that I'm using, right? Not only that, you also get my mentorship along the side, okay? So that you don't have to learn this all by yourself, especially if you're like new to the online world. It can be intimidating. And I think one of the main problems that people don't succeed is that they just don't know what to do. There's too much information, right? So I'm saying I have the tools and I'm here alongside to help you succeed. Not only that, just for sticking around. Thank you so much for being here. I'm giving you the Traffic Trippler PDF, free ebook, right? That can just help you really apply and get straight into action what you just learned here. So check your inbox. If you've already subscribed, or if you haven't, go to iuliatudor.com/Traffic Trippler formula. And there I will be sending you the Traffic Trippler PDF. So let me just go back to you guys. Where am I? Here. Have I been screen sharing the whole time? I really hope I have. I don't think I actually shared my screen. Oh, that's so sad. Well, if I didn't, that's okay. So anyways, I hope I've been giving you guys some value. I'm going to be sharing my screens with you. I'm going to be sharing my PDF with you. And link up with me on my Facebook. You go to facebook.com/Iulia Tudor Coach. And if you found value, please comment below. Let me know what kind of questions you have. I'd love to take it to the next level. And subscribe here to my email list at iuliatudor.com. You can just subscribe at the very top. And I hope to just really over-deliver in value, really be a servant to you so that you can see some success because you know what, you're worth it. And I think it really starts from a place of self-worth where you can actually see results, right? Thanks so much for tuning in. I love you guys and see you on the next episode. Ciao for now.